Dave, can I start off?
Sean, that's a difficult one, but what's your sum up the game really?
Well, it's not difficult from my point of view. I thought for 32 minutes before their first goal, I thought we were giving a good performance. I thought we were disrupting their play. I thought we were trying to be effective, asking questions of them and not too many against ourselves. But then I saw half a mistake. I was trying to block it. That's the way it goes. Unfortunately, it went in. And then a second mistake, and all of a sudden the whole feeling's changed, and that's why goals change games. It's, you know, I say it's not just the physical scoreline, it's the feel of a performance, and they grow a little bit. And the third one's my biggest gripe. I mean, I don't know where we're going on that one. You know, I can assure you there's nothing about that at half time. So I think we just got too involved in a moment, and then it's hard work from there. And, you know, 2-0, you never know the way we're playing. We nick one, it changes the feeling back in our favour. But at 3-0, it's very difficult in the Premier League anywhere, particularly here, new manager, the feel, all the rest of it. So by then the game's gone, and then it's damage limitation of looking after our players because we've got another big game coming up.
You've spoken about, you know, shutting down goals defensively, and then you let them forward today, so that's disappointing. That's including the previous 5.
Yeah, of course, and you know we had a spell of mistakes early in the season, and then we changed that and eradicated that. Obviously, with only conceding 4 in the last 8, and then today the mistakes, you know, crept back in, and it's highly improbable that we get that many mistakes in one game, but we did, and it had a massive effect on the outcome.
Sean, how do you explain the collapse in the second half?
Well, there's no collapse. They scored the third in the first 30 seconds. We're 3-0 down at any level of football is very difficult, but particularly at this level of football.
How disappointing to see them score so early though?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, you can't legislate for that. You know, I've never seen my team do that, or a team I've worked with just crunch the pitch so far over that it's just literally a hoik out the other way, and they're in, not necessarily right on goal, but they're in a very advantageous goal-scoring position. So yeah, it's no collapse. It's just a ridiculous moment for a team to give away such a soft goal. That was my big gripe of the goals. Mistakes can happen. These are good players who rarely have made them mistakes. But that as a team, that's, you know, something that you certainly can't legislate for. And the team know that, of course they do.
After you went behind, did you have any faith that you might be able to
Certainly in the first half, without a doubt. And then the second half has gone away too quick. You haven't even had time to, you know, sit and absorb what's just gone on, really, or stand and absorb in my case. But no, first half, I said to the team at half time, I said, lads, it's still there. You know, the sense of what we were getting into key areas, some of the play to open them up, I thought was very good. So yeah, of course, you always believe, but it does wane when you're just giving away a really poor goal within 30 seconds of the second half. Obviously, it's very difficult from there. And I've been in this league for a long time, and it's very difficult to come back from 3-0 down at Old Trafford.
So the away fans at the end?
Different options, different ways of playing. Today we tried to play more open. We tried to open up options to get into the final third differently, if not better. And I thought we did that, certainly for 32 minutes. We changed the striker. A bit harsh on Dom. I don't think he's doing a lot wrong, but obviously 3 in a week. We have to monitor that as well. Trying different ways to be effective, you know, and open up the opposition. And it's a tough ask. Obviously, if it wasn't, everyone would do it.
Do you feel you're going to be able to turn this around?
Yeah, I've turned around many things in my career, and certainly here. Goodness me, it's been up, down, up, down, up, down ever since I've been here, since the first day I walked in. So that's the ongoing challenge. And I think the consistency of a group here has been hard to find for me, for the last manager, the one before that. So it's not like a given that you find that consistency. But I think we've got a group of players who are very honest. I think they're up for the challenge. They've shown that for the last couple of seasons. That's the challenge right in front of our eyes straight again.
Yeah. You know, do your work in the week, and like you say, you have a good half an hour in the game, and then Brantford, the second goal, gives the ball away, caught in possession, and Tokashi does it in the second half. You standing there thinking, well, feeling a little bit helpless.
No, not helpless. I mean, it's very unlikely, for one thing, that happens and occurs. Like I say, a couple of mistakes early season, but there's not been many of that ilk since I've been at the club. And to have 3 in a game, you know, from sort of more or less individual, 2.5, I would say. Joe was a bit unfortunate on the first one, is unlikely. We've got to make sure it stays unlikely. But look, these are the biggest challenges of being a manager. You know, the bit when someone should defend that and the bit when they score at that end, that's the biggest challenge of being a manager, getting them in the right areas, getting them in the zones, getting them in a place to score. The final moment when they put it in the net, that's the hardest thing as a manager. Equally, the final moment of making a good decision. They're the hardest things to manage.
Sean, going back to the
Phil, why do you think so many players in the defence are out of position?
Yeah, no, it certainly wasn't a tactical idea, no. The players know it's just one of them things, trying to be up for it, I suppose, being overzealous in your actions, trying to get involved, trying to start hard and fast and bright, which I asked them to do, and just getting involved in a moment. But no, there's no tactical reason for that, I can assure you.
And last season, before 48 points, obviously much less than a point per game this season. Why do you think it's been such a slump from last season to this year?
Well, it's been tough all along. There's not been a slump. It's the fine lines of finding consistency to win are there for most in the Premier League, not the superpowers. Getting on the right side of their margins, and I think we haven't done that as well. I wasn't expecting. There seems to be this mythical thing we spoke about this week, like the last season at the Old Lady, as if everyone's become better players. They haven't. There's still a reality of Everton Football Club. Bring more money in than they're spending. Try and work with the players you've got. Try and develop them. Sell a few when you can to bring some money in. That hasn't changed, and we don't know whether it will. We've got possibly new owners coming in. It might well change. We'd have to wait and see. But that's been the task I've been given, and it's still there now. So, was I expected to do better than this? Yes. Myself and the players, that is, as a collective. And I think we should have done better than that with the chances we created in games to win games, but we haven't taken them chances. And when a bad day comes, if you haven't taken chances in the previous games, then it makes the noise just get bigger. That's football. That's life in football.
Might the nature of today's defeat prompt a rethink from you?
Mike, what, sorry?
Might the nature of today's defeat prompt a rethink tactically?
Oh, we rethink everything constantly. All managers do, trust me. There's never... I remember Michael Duff came on staff at Burnley and he had this feeling that, as you know, everyone just said, I just played a 4-4-2. And then he came in a meeting when he was on staff and he went, oh my goodness, I didn't realise how many hours you spend talking about options, possibles, mental side of the game, physical side of the game.
Hi guys. Okay, Sam.
Hi Ruben, congratulations. Obviously Xerxes and Rashford will get the headlines for the goals, but I just wondered if you could talk about Ahmad's performance. He seems to be everything that you'll want in a player moving forward.
Yeah, he was really good. Again, he's in the great moment, but that moment starts with Ruud. So I just take advantage of Ruud's work with Ahmad. He was really good defending and really good attacking. So he has to continue to play like that. You could feel it in the end of the game. He was really tired. So you have also to manage that to increase his physical ability.
Rob.
You spoke in your first press conference about having to lift some of the players mentally because of what they've gone through at the start of the season. It's been quite a difficult start to Joshua Zirkzee career here. Hasn't played probably as much as he's hoped. Is that something you've worked on with him? Obviously, he scored twice today. It's fantastic for him. But I felt that you needed to lift his confidence a little bit since you've been here.
First thing, I need all the players to cope with all the games. So he's one of them, and I just try to help my players, put them in the good position for their characteristics. And I think today was really hard. It will be really hard even for Rasmus to fight with the two central backs of Everton. So we try to push them to a position that they are not so comfortable. And Josh did a great job. Scored 2 goals is always important for the confidence, but more important than that is the performance, the way he fought in every situation. So it was a good day for him and for our team.
Gaz.
Ruben, congratulations on the results. 3 goals now that you've scored almost directly from kick-off. Is that something you work on in training or try and instill in the guys in the dressing room?
No, I'm just so really lucky. I'm really lucky. No, we just want to play well because it's better to start a game by scoring. But if you look at these 3 games, all the decisive moments was for us, and you have to acknowledge that. Today we start very well, but then we lose the control of the game. We were following the ball without any possession after the 15 minutes, but then we score in the set pieces play. So that was key point for us. And then near the halftime, we score again. Then in the first play again, we score the third goal. So we have to acknowledge that in the right moments, in these 3 games, we score goals. On Thursday, I think we control very well the ball in the possession. Today, we had some difficulties after the 15 minutes, and we had some possessions just to keep the ball, not to be so dangerous. But let's see, 3 games without training, they did a great job. So this victory more from the players than the coach.
Neil.
Ruben, you said on Friday, Rashford needing to want it. Was that an example of him wanting it today?
Yeah, he can do so much. So he has to continue to improve. He has the ability to do it. He already proved that. But he can play so much better like the other guys. So was a good performance. Tomorrow he has to recover and starting thinking about Arsenal.
Jamie.
Hi Ruben. You're on 19 points now. You're sort of 4 or 5 points away from the top 4. Is at least challenging for a Champions League place. Is that a ridiculous thing to try and aim for? The great Manchester United.
No, I understand that. It's hard for me if I said no. You will say that I cannot be a Manchester United player, but I want to be a player, no coach. I want to be honest with our fans. So let's focus on the performance, not the results. So we'll see in the end. In the end, I said this many times, I will be judged about the place that we finish. I know that. But let's focus just on the next game and look at the performance. Sometimes we play, we had like in Thursday was a 3-2, but I think we deserve more. Today was a 4-0. I think Everton deserve more also. So let's focus on the performance. Congratulations to the lads. Let's rest, recover, and think about Arsenal.
Last 2, Mark and Pete.
Ruben, you just spoke there a bit about why you picked Joshua over Rasmus today. Is there going to be a point where you're going to have a first choice centre forward? And what does that look like in a Ruben Amorim's system? Because the 2 players with very different skill sets. So what is it that you're looking for from that point?
We want always 2 players with sometimes with different characteristics for changing the game. But of course, in the future, we will have a structure or a base more clear in the team, and that is in every big teams. But we start this job now, and now we have a lot of games, and we are changing some details in training. The load is different. I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's different. The games, the way we play is different. Sometimes we have more pressure and we have to make bigger distance running. So you have to cope with that. We have a lot of players returning from injury. Kobe Mino was a little bit a risk because he's supposed to play just 60 minutes. News was clearly in difficulties. Luke Shaw wants to play really more. But we have to control, so we are in that moment. So we have to rotate the team, but in the future we will have a different system, or you can see more a starting 11 as you want.
Hi Ruben. 2 more goals as a result of pressing defenders into mistakes today. How impressed are you that the players have taken this message on board already?
I think he has to be, all the teams has to have in this moment of pressing to understand what is the type of player in the opponent that has the ball in press, and they are smart players, so we try to help them, but then are the players that have to run to understand the moment, be ready to sometimes get tired and suffer a little bit on the pitch. So I'm very happy with that.
Is this what you meant by the overthinking thing that you said before? So is it a matter of we need to press first? That's the first thing that comes into our mind. When the opposition's got the ball, we need to press them.
We have to tell them sometimes when to start the pressure. For everybody has the same mentality, like the ball is going there, so this is the right moment to press. We tried that for every game, but like you can see that Everton after 15 minutes changed the position, and Gaia was putting near the line of the center backs, and it was difficult for us to cope with that because we don't have training and you cannot adapt like that. So we are trying, and the players are believing that in the right moments we can press and we can win the ball. We could do it as now, by the way.